Coming up in this special episode of Animal Cop San Francisco.
Stop, stop, stop!
Passion, sharp reflexes, and total dedication are some of the unique qualities that are needed to be an animal control officer.
Sometimes people need to go to jail, sometimes people need to pay fines. My method and my officer's method is we try all the different remedies before we get to that point.
We'll look at how the officers work and see the results of their dedication with specially shot new footage for this show. And the team share with us their feelings on the sights they have to face.
When I see animals that are kept in bad conditions or abused, it just hurts. It hurts your heart. This is why I'm here, to help them.
In this special episode of Animal Cop San Francisco, the officers are looking back on the cases where their skills have been put to the ultimate test. The ACC gets at least one call a day where a dog is on the loose in the city. It's a very dangerous situation for the dog and the public. It can be a stressful time for any animal control officer. Lieutenant Michael Scott knows what it takes to cope.
It's constantly stressful, just the situations that we find ourselves in, we find the animals in, the public. There's potential danger around every corner, and it takes a special person to be able to deal with that and still function.
Chasing dogs on busy streets is hard enough, but when Lieutenant Scott was faced with getting a dog from the upper level of the Bay Bridge, he knew it was going to be even more of a challenge.
We saw the approach to the Bay Bridge, and they noticed that there's a dog up on a concrete ledge. It's in between an on-ramp and main lanes.
We figured out that the best course of action was probably to try to get the dog off the freeway without having to go on the freeway myself. So the workers there were very helpful. They hooked me up to a harness, they put me in the bucket, and they lifted me up to probably within 7 or 8 feet of the dog. It was pretty clear the dog was frightened to death, and at that point the dog started moving.
Stay there, dog, stay there. No, 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 no. Oh, no. AC-16, dog's on the freeway.
This was a situation Scott wanted to avoid. An injured dog running wild on the freeway.
She just jumped. As soon as she saw us, she started getting up. She's been hit too. Yeah.
Scott knew that with the dog running scared, it was going to be difficult to catch.
She's got a bad leg. She's moving, but she's definitely limping. Yeah. There's people up there getting out of their cars trying to grab that dog.
Yeah. To make matters more frustrating for Scott, he had to cross through heavy one-way traffic to reach the injured dog.
The last time I saw the dog, it was just on the other side of the bridge. It was in this direction of traffic, but it was traveling this way. See it? I don't see me right now.
This dog had been brought to San Francisco from another state and probably had never seen a freeway, probably had never, walked onto, oncoming traffic like that, and it must have been frightened to death. The dog, at one point displayed aggression. The dog was fearful. The dog wasn't trusting people. It had all of the symptoms of a very scared animal.
She took off and we really quickly lost a visual on her. She could be anywhere now.
When Animal Cop San Francisco returns on Animal Planet, would it be the end of the road for the dog injured on the freeway?
You need to start off by not lying to me.
And Officer O'Brien came face to face with one of the worst cases of animal neglect he'd ever seen.